Hi, I'm Allison from Heart of the Matter Yoga, and I'm here with my mom. Happy Mother's Day weekend. We're going to talk about hand and wrist safety in yoga. We do a lot of poses on our hands. We put weight on our hands, which makes it even more important that we place our hands carefully and intentionally on the mat. When our hands become our foundation, it can travel all the way up through the wrists, up to the shoulders, up into the neck. So we want to take good care from the foundation up. So let's talk a little bit about what our hands as a foundation looks like. So go ahead and take your hands together and press your palms together. You can do this with me too. Press your palms together. Good. And just go ahead and smash them together. Don't worry about doing anything fancy here. Just smash your hands together. And notice which part of your hands tend to squish together the most, or where there's the most contact. I think for most people, and for me, it's at the heel of the hand. And the same thing happens when our hands are on the mat. Most of our weight will settle in the heel of the hand, and specifically in the outer edge of the heel of the hand, the outer wrist. So go ahead and flip your hands upside down and look at the base of your palms. And if you're like me, you'll see that where the heel of the hands come together, that there's not much space as we press the palms together. Okay. How about you? Yeah, not much space there. Okay. Now flip your hands back over, and now carefully press each fingertip into its partner. And do the best you can to root your pointer finger knuckle in, to press them together. Good. So each fingertip, including the thumb, and the pointer finger knuckle. Now keeping that, flip your hands upside down again, and what you might see is there's a little groove. Yeah, there's a little itty bitty groove right at the base of the hands, at the heel of the hands. And that groove acts very much like the arch of the foot to keep the weight from sinking and putting so much extra pressure on the wrist. Okay. Now, one of the reasons I wanted my mom to join me for this today is because she's had surgery on her thumb joint. Years and years of being a school teacher and holding a pencil left her thumb joint less mobile. So the surgery has helped, but still she can't flatten her hand out all the way on the mat. And I see a lot of students who have arthritis in their hands, and they have that same problem. So what I want us to talk about are ways to support your wrists, to support your hands and your wrists, and all the way up to the shoulders with props. Okay, so let's come to table pose. Okay. So spread your fingers wide on the mat. Hands shoulders distance apart. Good. You can line up the inner edge of your wrist as wide as your shoulders, keeping a breadth across the shoulders, a broadness across the chest. Yeah, you're doing a great job. Okay, and double check the wrist creases at the front of your hand, where your forearm and your palm come together, and line those wrist creases up parallel with the front of your mat. Okay, so this is a good place to start. Now, if you can work each fingertip down and root that pointer finger knuckle to the mat, great. This is a perfect place to practice it, here in table. And that can take you into more challenging poses where there's more weight on the hands, like downward facing dog, or one-armed poses like Vashisthasana, side plank. Okay. So since my mom can't quite get this pointer finger knuckle all the way down to the ground, we're gonna lift her heel of the hand up. We're gonna lift it up with some props. So the first thing I'm going to use are some washcloths, and a lot of yoga studios have these on hand. So we're going to put the washcloths underneath the heel of our hand so that the heel of our hand comes up more in line with the knuckles. Stretch your fingertips out again. Good. Yeah. And this helps a little. Okay, pressing the fingertips down to the mat, sending the pointer finger knuckle towards the earth, even though it doesn't touch. That's okay. Making the action of that pointer finger knuckle rooting down. Okay, stay broad across the top of your shoulders and chest. Beautiful. Do you feel comfortable to come to downward facing dog here? Mm-hmm. Okay, so go ahead and lift your knees. Press down as much as you can into the front edge of the hand. I like to call it the ball of the hand, just like the ball of the foot. So you press down into the ball of your feet. Press down into the ball of your hands. Bend your knees a little bit, Mom. Lift your hips way up and back. Good. Pressing down into your hands. Good. Lift your hips higher. Awesome. Let your head go. Nice. And then come on back down to table. Okay. So that was pretty good, but I think we can make this even more comfortable for my mom. So we're going to take these out of the way and grab this really cool prop that's like a ramp. Okay. This is something you can find on Amazon or on a yoga website like Gayam, which is, I believe, where I got it. Okay, if you face the ramp away from you, you can slide your fingers all the way off the front of the ramp. Yep. Letting the heel of your hand be supported by the ramp itself. Good. And again, take your hands as wide as your shoulders. Inner edge of the wrist as wide as the middle of the shoulder, so you can keep the top of your shoulders and your collarbones broad. Yeah. Good. Press down to the fingers and knuckles. Good. So now the heel of the hand is as high or even maybe slightly higher than the ball of the hand. And that's going to feel a lot better than sinking into the heel of the hand and bending that wrist more than 90 degrees, right? So now we're bending it less than 90, which should feel better. Go ahead and lift your knees up. Downward facing dog. Pressing into the front of the hand as much as you can. Good. Stretch way up and back through your hips. Nice. Good. Let your head go. Beautiful. And then exhale and release. One more. And I think we've decided that this was our favorite, is the next one. Okay. We're going to use blocks. And again, yoga studios will often have blocks and sometimes different shapes. We're going to use these lower blocks. And I'm going to turn them in line with the mat, placing them shoulders distance apart so that my mom can grip the front of them. Okay, this is a lot better for the shoulders than doing the fists thing. Okay, you can do that too. That puts a lot of pressure on the wrists, and if you can work your hands on the front of the blocks there, you can do more opening across the front of the chest. So grab the front of the blocks here, mommy. Your thumbs can go on the inside of the block so that you can squeeze your fingertips towards you and also squeeze between the thumb and the forefinger. Good. And then when you're ready, downward facing dog. Good. Press down into the front of your hands. Good. Lift your hips. Let your head rest between your arms. Let your head go. Good. Stretch way up and back. Nice. How you feeling here? Pretty good. Good. And then let your knees come on down. And release. So I hope that helps. I hope you have a fantastic Mother's Day weekend. And I look forward to seeing you on the mat soon. Let's take our palms together.